to see you.
Alright there, Revenants, welcome back to Code Vein, and today we are going to talk about Stun buff and Venom buff. These are two buffs that are from different blood codes in the game here, and Stun buff is from Scout blood code, and Venom buff is from Dark Seeker blood code. So Scout, you can see here, Stun buff, and Dark Seeker, you can see their Venom buff right there. And the interesting thing about these two buffs are that they activate on focus. Now, they do both operate the exact same way. Once you get focused, you gain a certain amount of stun or venom value added to your weapon on the card, and you can see here on the card that you get these status effects added to your values, and they apply then these status effects to the enemy. So the higher this value goes, the faster the buildup becomes as the ring goes around the little square to finally apply the status effect. So the higher the better, right? And I had completely misunderstood these two buffs overall. And the more I understood them and know what I'm actually looking for now, these are absolutely incredible buffs. So let's start here with what we're actually going to apply and try. So let's start with debuff buildup. And we have the Crimson Longsword here with stun, and you can see that it is a 20% increase going from 15 to 18 with debuff buildup active, and it's 25% increase for the actual buff, weapon buff gifts, for the active gifts and for the cartridges. So here, if I use stun and stun, we can get up to 81. Just as this is going with debuff buildup, a Crimson Longsword, or any sword with a stun chrome on it, numbing mark, and a stun cartridge, we can get to 81. Okay, and since we are running Orion with the Sub-Zero Shroud, we're at 1859, and if we do this, our dark value goes to 2893, which is pretty high. So remember, we were at 81 there. Let's get rid of this, and let's go ahead and put complete attention here, and let's get focused and activate stun buff, and we will not use numbing mark, and we will not use a stun chrome. So we will be bare base everything here. Okay, and let's do this, and we'll go ahead and get focused here. And one more drain. And let's activate Dark Shout, and now our stun value is at 96 and our venom value is at 96, so we're 15 stun higher than we were with a stun cartridge and with numbing mark and with a stun chrome and with debuff buildup. So for 4 gifts we are, you know, a lot higher, and as Dark Shout runs out, we lose 11 stun and 11 venom, and we go down to 85, which is still higher than all of the other everything combined up together. Now, debuff buildup does not work with this, and it only works with the others that we showed previously. Now, the interesting thing is that these two buffs here, they scale like a power series in a logarithmic sense. And what I mean by that is, let me show you the window here. Here we go. And so you can see here that the yellow dots are my data that I had tried to figure out what values of dark value I had on my veil, and what was the stun buff value every time I got focused. So as you can see here, we have an entire crazy list of 93 data points. I do have obviously gaps everywhere here, and I couldn't get lower than 112. I'm sure there is a way, but I just didn't have the veil for it. And we kind of found that we were increasing ever so slightly here the dark value per stun point, and that started to clue me in that we're in not a linear sense, but it just continues to increase, not in a linear fashion at all. So, and as you can see here, the running derivative continues to decrease to a point where it'll get to 0, which means that we will have a flat line here at some point, some theoretical maximum that this thing cannot go to when x goes to infinity. So here what we're noticing is that this trend line is this equation here, which is fairly accurate. Obviously it's above here, it's below here, and it's below up here, but it's kind of it's a best fit trend line curve that mimics what this is, and this is fairly close, x being your dark value, to actually get the value of the stun value that you need, or that you have as an output from your gift. So every time you get focused right around in the 12 to 1600 area, this is typically like the best region to be, because you're still in a kind of linear region here, and you're kind of over the hump right here. But then getting up here into the 2000s and beyond, that's very difficult to get. There is no way that you can get there with any other blood veil except for the Sub-Zero Shroud, and so and even at that point it's very not guaranteed, but you can get to about 2000 with the Sub-Zero Shroud base, and then when you use Dark Shout, you go all the way up into the almost 3000 range, which is off my chart here. And so you can see that the sweet spot region is where you're coming off of the bend, off of the elbow, right in here into the 1200 to 1600 range for your dark value, and most blood veils can get there. So if you have, you know, a Black Blood Liberator, you have a Suicide Spur, you have a Ruinous Chevalier, these kinds of blood veils, they fall into this region here very well, and this is kind of the sweet spot for this, because up here you're losing a lot of dark value per stun point, and down here below you're not getting enough value back for your dark value. So it's still a very good gift. And let's put this away. Okay, and let's head back to the game here. So you can see that running stun buff just by itself and getting focused with focus recovery, which typically in the fight you are dodging the bosses and everything. This does come with a caveat though, that you are slow mobility, and when you have all of these running together, you can attain values that are very high. Okay, and let's do this, and we still have complete attention active, so we'll go for a couple of drains here just to get focused. Okay, good. And we are now at 131 on our stun value, and we don't even have a cartridge active. So if we go for cartridge, we're at 161 on stun and 126 on venom, which is absolutely crazy. And because we have Dark Shout active as well, and Dark Shout also helps increase our blood-sucking blades, because that scales also off dark. We're at 0.62, and if we get Dark Shout running here, oops, and I've broken myself, then we are up to 0.66 on a strike. So there's two versions of this build that you can go for. And if you don't go for stun and venom here on the weapon buffs themselves, what you can do is you can go for Hunting Feast, you can put Dark Shout here, you can go for normal mobility, and you can run this kind of a setup as well. And what this will do for you is when you use these gifts here, what'll happen is you'll be able to get a much higher drain rating on your weapon. So that way, when you're running this, obviously now we have 111 on our stun value, and we're at 0.99, which means that when we're trying to get iCore back, we can absolutely gain huge amounts of iCore overall. And as you continue to dodge the enemy and be normal mobility and use all your gifts, this should keep you going. Now, the reason we're going for the Crimson Longsword and Tranquil Slice is because Tranquil Slice also applies all of your values from the card here on stun and venom, and so that way you're also able to you're able to apply these status effects when you're focused, and it will completely stun or poison, hopefully both, any boss or any enemy in one tranquil slice. So it's pretty incredible, and that's why we have Dark Shout active as well. So the whole thing is about just stunning and doing as much venom damage as possible. Now this is crazy for enemies because they stun and poison in one attack, and for bosses it's about 2 or 3. And so let's go ahead and go see what that looks like. So if you've never used these buffs before, this is a great way to sink your teeth into some serious levels of where Vayne, you know, kind of pushes you towards. And we'll do both different versions here of our builds. And let's go fight Eva, and we'll see how this does versus her, because she staggers quite a bit, and she stuns and poisons both, and this should be a good way to go about getting her taken care of. Okay, so we'll switch to White Mia just for the fact that she gives us gift extension, which would be very nice here. And let's see how this operates. Now, it is a very strange way of thinking that you want to try and be in close, dodge attacks, get focused, and then get her stunned and poisoned. So very different than what you might be used to overall. It's not any way, shape, or form any kind of normal playstyle. So the Sub-Zero Shroud is really good for damage reduction. The problem becomes when you don't have the ability to resist blood damage, as that becomes exceptionally problematic later on. Okay, we're leaking. Okay, and now she's stunned and poisoned, but somehow she still gets the hands off. Okay, we're dead again, and that's fine in a sense because we're having the ability here with Mia to make sure that we are always active. Okay, and when she comes out of this, we'll go focused. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and heal. Whoops, that was the wrong time to use that, but oh well. Oh, couldn't dodge there. I dodged once, but there, we're focused. Now she should get stunned here very easily. And she should get stunned again. Okay, very good. And she's not going to get poisoned again because we don't have any poison ability here. Mia's dead? What? Oh, she must have been in the area of effect there. Okay, so very different play style overall. And let me show you the Queen's Knight Reborn. So this guy also doesn't do well with stun and venom as well. So this is a very interesting, strange, again, kind of build setup here for each of these attacks. And as we get into this fight as well, the same rules apply all over the place. So, and remember, we do have the other style of build with normal mobility and everything. So we'll keep that in mind as well. So here at the beginning, we're just gonna get some Ichor. Okay, we're focused. And he's poisoned and everything. And he's stunned again. Good. Let's go get some focus here. Oh, I thought he was stunned, but I must have missed that. Okay, let's let our stamina recover. Let's go for stun here. let's wait for him to come out of stun. Okay, we'll wait for him to come out of stun here. Oh, okay. Okay, good. And let's get some Ichor back here. Okay, good. Excellent. Alright. Let's get some focus here. Where is he? There we go. Okay, and he's stunned again. So even though it's a really, really sloppy play, the crazy thing is that you can continually apply the stun value. And it's not about constantly attacking. It's about waiting for that focus meter to constantly stun him between your regular weapon attacks and Tranquil Slice applying. So let's try this again here and kind of maybe get a cleaner, more concise strike set on him here. And as you can see, you constantly have to manage your regular items as well. Hey, there's a good dodge. There we go. Now we're focused. Okay. There we go. Let's stay focused. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now when he stands up, we'll let the stun take effect here. Okay. And then we'll apply stun here. We'll get some focus here. We'll get a stun cartridge. Okay, we're not quite there. Okay. And we are almost back to getting focused again. There we go. Now let's get him stunned here. Okay, let's let him come up. Okay, we still are focused here, so we'll get him stunned here, and then we'll go for the finishing kills here. Okay, so you can kind of see that it's like patience and waiting, and you can keep him kind of in a stunned lock apparatus overall, which is completely crazy that you have that amount of stun buildup. Now, if we go to something like the Despot, where he's like a bigger enemy, he jumps around a lot more, and he's not as super susceptible to stun. But the Venom and stun together combo guarantees that you're always having, you know, that extra damage out on the enemy because of just the fact of how, you know, they're always poisoned, and they're always going to, well, where am I going? And they're always going to take that 15% damage because they're poisoned. So it's really nice. So now that we have Eva along, we'll be able to have a much faster attack in Tranquil Slice, which is very nice. Okay, and as we run in here, we'll just let that guy do that. Good job, Eva. So we'll have to try and dodge an attack here. Now, this guy's kind of hard to dodge, so we'll let him do a thing here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. But we are almost able here to get focused. Oh, there we're focused. Okay. Okay. Alright, and we'll go for this. Let's do this. There we go. Okay, so you can see how this is a very laid back kind of attacking pattern here, that you're not really like going into it for super serious extra damage. There we go. So it's over for him now. Okay. Good. He's stunned again. He's having a real hard time here. And you can see that as soon as we come out of focus, we have a really hard time stunning. It's not impossible, but it's still pretty difficult. And there we got hit, so we're right on track to get another focus value as we get out of this here. There we go. And he's poisoned and stunned again. Okay. Let's get our stamina back here. Okay. So if we can get focused again, that would be great. Okay. Okay, he's gonna do this, which is fine, right? Okay, let's get some focus here. Okay, we missed. Let's see if he'll help us out here. Okay. Nope, he's not gonna help us out, so we'll just get him. So that's really, really interesting how this entire setup works, is just how crazy these logarithmic values actually increase your chances and your viability of actually attacking the enemy. So I hopefully hope that this helped inform you guys about how Venom buff and Stun buff operate, and I hope to see you. Thanks, Eva. I hope to see you in another gift explanation video in another time. Thanks for watching.